easy for him.
No. I mean, obviously anything can happen at a tournament, and that's the skill. That's the brilliant thing about Pokemon. Anything can happen, really.
Yeah.
But Wolfe is a really dedicated player. I do not know too much about Jonas, but obviously he has still got the chance to make it through to the second day of competition here. And if he puts in a good amount of work against Wolfe, he could be knocking out a world champion.
Yeah, he could. And what is the better feeling to get in the next day, next Swiss round, when you beat the world champion?
That must be amazing. So,
oh, yeah.
Especially for the last game of his day, to be able to go home, rest a little bit, and be like, I put in some good performances today. And that's the great thing about these sort of tournaments.
Yeah, I actually feel great for both people who beat Wolfe. Because, come on, you beat the world champion of this year.
I personally feel bad for Wolfe, as well as feeling great for those players. It's not just hating on Wolfe here.
Yeah.
We love you, Wolfe. So we actually have your teams on screen now. So for Jonas, we have Alolan Marowak, Gastrodon, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Goodra, and Porygon 2. And for Wolfe, we have Politoed, and Salamence, Porygon 2, Magnezone, Tapu Bulu, and Muck.
Muck.
Hello, Muck.
All right, Muck.
Hello, Muck. We haven't seen you on stream yet.
Well, we missed you.
So
we like you.
Why don't we talk a little bit about the teams? What do you think?
When I see the team of Jonas, it's pretty similar to Tilt teams, right?
Yeah, feels like it.
I'm pretty curious if we are seeing Stockpile, especially Z Stockpile, and very bulky Goodra. This will not be very interesting. If I see Wolfe's team, I like it. It's we saw Pokemon like Tapu Bulu before and stuff, but Magnezone's always an interesting choice. I think the last time we saw Magnezone was on Lyo's team.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Wait, I think there was another one as well. It was, no, actually, I'm not too sure. I won't.
That's a long day, guys. Anyway, but we saw the Mark, and what is interesting in Mark? Mark got like two very good abilities. It's like, the first one, it's...
Power of Alchemy.
That's well. The best one is actually Power of Alchemy, because you have so much tactics you can do, so much things, because Power of Alchemy, when your ally knockouts in battle, you copy the ability from it. And it can't be every ability, especially of, No-God and stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, if Salamence were to be knocked out, then Muck would actually be able to pick up its Intimidate ability, and we see the Intimidate ability right now. It's going to go on to that Gastrodon, on to Celesteela here as well. So, if we look at the way that this first turn is shaped up with both of these leads, Nino, where do you think this is going for Wolfe?
It depends on, really, because Salamence don't do well right now, because even if it does Specs Draco Meteor, it doesn't do enough damage for Gastrodon, because Gastrodon is a powerhouse in HP. And yeah, we're talking about Celesteela. no chance to come to Celesteela. Especially when you're... A safe play for Jonas would be just for Protect for Celesteela, for example, and scouting out the set of Wolfe. But we're seeing the switch out from for Salamence into the Politoed. Interesting. So bringing a Politoed into a Gastrodon is always an interesting choice.
Yeah, so we're actually going to see Politoed hitting the field there, and we're going to see the Muck switching out too, so Wolfe revealing all his Pokemon now. So we do have the Salamence, Tapu Bulu, Muck, and Politoed. And yeah, so the Tapu Bulu is a really good choice, and I was thinking that he would have to bring this to deal with the Gastrodon. Gastrodon is going to be using the Ice Beam into the Salamence slot, and Politoed is not going to take too much damage from that. And also, if we choose to see a heavy slam coming out from Celesteela, it won't take much damage from that as well. But the Protect, obviously, is happening on Celesteela, but Tapu Bulu being in here is really important.
Yeah, it is. And even if you use his turn only for switching out, he's in a little bit better position, but still this is now interesting for Wolfe, because Tapu Bulu is faster than Politoed, I think. I hope so for him, because you can use your Leech Seeds or just predict the Protect or switch out from Gastrodon, but still Tapu Bulu and Politoed doesn't do well against Celesteela. We see the switch out. Maybe no Protect.
So we do see the switch out coming out from the Gastrodon, and here comes the Goodra, so we could be seeing Sap Sipper here. We're actually going to see the Encore, which is a move that we've seen a fair amount on Politoed here, and Tapu Bulu is going to set up a substitute, which is another tech that we've seen on several different Tapu Bulu this time, and we're going to see the Protect coming out from Celesteela there. So we're going to see the grassy terrain bringing the health back up of Tapu Bulu, and that's a really nice little combination to be able to set up a substitute, sit behind it, and just heal up the rest of your damage, heal up the rest of your health through the grassy terrain.
It is, and this is now still something where Celesteela likes to be in, because it's still okay for him, because there's no chance he can deal good damage against it, but the only way he can leech seed is in Politoed, but this is just like time wasting, because while Celesteela is leech seeding everything, Tapu Bulu and Politoed can knock out everything next to it, and this is a problem Wolfe could think right now, because a protect by this side, but we see in the rain the flamethrower into Tapu Bulu, most likely being enough to break this up.
Are we going to see the sub breaking here? No, we do not. The sub survives. So substitute still on for Tapu Bulu. We see the Scald coming out from Politoed. Will it pick up the... No, it will not pick up the burn at all. But we're going to see what attack will this be. This is going to be a Leech Seed as well going on to the Celesteela. So not choosing to attack this turn. We actually see that there is a bit more defense coming out here. Another Leech Seed coming out from Celesteela onto the Politoed. So seeds all round. And Tapu Bulu is yet to show off its impressive attack stat.
Yeah, and... if you would tell me a month ago this Leech Seed would be such a great move in VGC, I would say you're insane, man. Because we had always this one Leech Seed Pokemon in VGC since 14. This was Ferrothorn.
Yep.
It was like the only Pokemon, because it was the only Pokemon who... And Mega Venusaur, okay, to be fair, Mega Venusaur. But it only worked on one team. But it's still just these two Pokemon can use, has so much bulk and learn Leech Seed. And now we got like Tapu Bulu and Celesteela and sub option.
Yeah.
Never had sub seed in VGC.
And it's a really, really important tactic that a lot of players are choosing to use at this point in time, because it just provides you that additional bulk, especially when paired with grassy terrain. You can heal back, but it puts a lot of pressure on an opponent to be able to break your sub and then actually deal super effective damage to stop you from doing it again.
Yeah, now we see another flamethrower. Maybe this would be enough to get the KO on
You'd
the
imagine
substitute,
so.
But it should be. I hope so.
Yeah, so
okay.
there we see the substitute breaking on Tapu Bulu, so Flamethrower coming out from Goodra there. We're going to see Gastrodon switching in, taking the Water-type attack with the Storm Drain ability, and we're actually going to see the Horn Leech coming out into that slot as well. A nice attack.
What a great predict right into the Celesteela slot. Knowing about the switch, okay, you get not much to lose, even if what Celesteela put in. But anyway, great predict by Wolfe. This is a huge punch for Jonas right now, because you still got the Tapu Bulu out, and the only answer is Celesteela, and this is not the best answer.
Yeah, and that is a key knockout, and this is why Wolfe needed to bring Tapu Bulu. But Jonas is playing from behind a little bit now. Obviously, having the ability to redirect those Water-type attacks from Politoed was really, really important, just for the fact that his bulky Pokemon do not appreciate taking a burn, and throwing Scald out in the rain does significant damage to a lot of Pokemon, but also has that key burn chance, which will whittle down the health of each Pokemon each turn.
Yeah. I'm curious if we are going to see the Sludge Bomb from Goodra. Now we have seen the Dragon.
Yeah, so that will be the Draconian Z activating for Goodra here. It's going to set itself up to unleash its Z power. This is going to be devastating Drake, and you imagine it's going to go and launch into the Politoed, seeing as Tapu Bulu is immune to Dragon-type attacks. So launching through the air, going to slam into that Politoed, and it's going to take it down to just over a third of its HP there, and the Citrus Berry is going to come back up. And yeah, Politoed didn't really mind that too much.
No, it didn't. I kind of feel it was early, you know, for Jonas, but anyway, trying to get the Encore out, but no, but here comes the substitute, and now comes the heavy slam into Tapu Bulu. Should be definitely been enough to get a knockout on the substitute, but anyway, I don't think Jonas is going to be in a comfortable position anymore this turn.
No, so guys, just to explain a little bit, for the Encore to fail there, it was to do with the interaction with the Z move. So you cannot Encore a Z move because obviously it is a one-use move, so Devastating Rake will not be able to be Encored.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
Hey, no worries. But so we see that there's a lot of restorative health coming back here. So Nino, what do you think is going to be the play for Jonas to be able to make the most of his Pokemon that are left?
I would hope he got like Sludge Bomb on Goodra, because that would be the easiest way to deal with the Tapu Bulu. Maybe he keeps it in the bag for, I don't know, for reasons.
Yeah.
But we saw Flamethrower, we saw most likely the Draco Meteor, or I think it's Draco Meteor, and still 2 spots left. So most likely he's not running any Assault Vest items, so it should be Protect in the last move. I really hope for him for the Sludge Bomb, because Celesteela can't do anything except of Leech Seeding the Politoed, and this is easy for Wolfe to handle.
Yeah, so we actually are going to see a switch out here from Wolfe's end of the field. He's going to bring in that Muck now. So Muck hitting the field, it has received a type change in the Alola region. It is Poison and Dark now. So we actually going to see another switch out as well. So again, double switching here. He's going to bring in Salamence, which is going to intimidate both of these Pokemon. Heavy Slam on Celesteela will not be doing as much damage as it did previously. And we're going to see the Draco Meteor coming out onto that Alola Muck. And it's a very bulky Pokemon, so it doesn't mind taking that too much at all. And the special attack is going to drop on the Goodra here. What are we going to see from Celesteela? That is going to be Heavy Slam onto the Salamence. And again, like Wolfie's Pokemon, not taking too much damage here. The Intimidate was very nice, meaning that Salamence survives with just over half its HP.
Yeah, and now Wolfie is in a very good position, because the Mance is a really good threat for the Goodra. And maybe he can double up with Muck and Salamence into Goodra, and it should be it. Most likely. So also very interesting, because if Wolfe is switching, it's always double switch.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously thinking like, okay, maybe now is the time to get offensive and go for some big damage onto his partner Pokemon. It seems like Wolfe is not particularly concerned about Celesteela at this point in time.
Yeah, it's interesting, because many people are really just focused on Celesteela. Maybe people are just like, okay, I'll let him Leech Seed, kick everything next to him, and then work for Celesteela at this point. And we see the Poison Jab from Muck into the Protect of Goodra.
And I believe Celesteela attacked into the Salamence slot as well, so there was two Protects there, 2 attacks into Protects. Almost a dead turn, but it feels a little bit like Wolfe got the advantage there, because Salamence is faster than Goodra. Goodra waited its Protect turn there, so Salamence is now free to be able to attack into the Goodra slot. If Goodra switches out, the Pokemon coming in will take big damage, unless it's immune, but either way, Goodra will not like this position and might want to try and switch out, or take a big Draco Meteor.
Yeah, especially because we already saw the Dragonium Z Crystal, and even if Salamence get faded this turn, every single little damage on Goodra is important. Now we see the switch out of Goodra into Marowak.
So we do see the switch coming out there. Goodra is going to leave the field. Alola Marowak coming out here, and we do see finally the Z Crystal from Wolfie's side of the field. Again, it will be that Draconium Z. So Salamence getting ready to launch its Z power. Devastating Drake will be hitting the field, and it's a really popular Z move that we've seen so far. Hydro Vortex has been up there as well. Yeah. Not seeing too many other and Shattered Psyche from Alola and Raichu as well. But this is one of the more popular ones as well, including, oh my god.
And now we see why it's one of the most popular, because it's a clear knockout on Marowak.
Wow, that was some big damage there. Obviously, Alola Marowak is not the most specially defensive. It's not known for its special defense. It has higher special defense. It has higher base defense. But that was still a really big knockout there.
It is, and then now Wolfe is still, I won't say decent position. I don't want to say good position. It's position where you can, when you don't do any mistake, you already got it, because you're faster. There's no move by Paralyze or any hacks Celesteela can do. This is pretty much over.
Well, he's got 4 Pokemon left. Jonas is down to his last 2. So Wolfe is a player who's known for his positioning. He likes to defensive switch, but he can bring out his Salamence now to reset the stat drops from the Draco Meteor and line up Goodra for a big knockout later on in the game. And if he still keeps a couple of Pokemon around, he has a way, you assume most Salamence are running fire-type attacks in this metagame, so he has a way to do some big damage to Celesteela as well, which we haven't seen use Substitute yet.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's going to switch out his Mance into Salamence into a Politoed, just because to reset Draco Meteor drop and having a little bit more better position against Goodra. But no, we're seeing the Draco Meteor again into the Goodra.
Just
-2. Okay, no, it's not my. It's the first one.
Oh,
I'm
of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. Sorry, yeah,
guys.
Of course, yeah. Sorry. The Dragon Type Z move obviously does not give the status drops, and Goodra is going to survive that with 59 HP.
Yeah, and we do see a Draco Meteor miss into Salamence. Pretty big deal for Jonas, but I don't think it deals so much. But yeah, it's not cool.
Yeah, and there we see the double target there onto the Gudra slot. So again, as we mentioned, Wolfe not particularly phased by Celesteela at this point. He has 4 Pokemon left. Jonas is down to his last Pokemon now. So we have a lot of turns where Wolfe can just set himself up to be able to get some big damage off with the Pokemon that hit super effectively, and there's not really too much Celesteela can do about it, especially with the resistances that Wolfe has to Heavy Slam.
Yeah. So we always see the Protect by Salamence. Pretty safe play, just to get up a little bit damage with Mark. We've seen this Leech Seed into the Salamence spot. Now we've seen Knockoff. Finally the Knockoff into the Celesteela. Mark is one of the only Pokemon who learns Knockoff actually, because last year it was a tutor move and it was a really great move. And the year before on VGC 15 and 16. And it was a very important move because in this generation Knockoff gets a little buff, gets attacked by 65 from 20, and it gets really relevant because items is such a really big thing in VGC and in Pokemon in general. And now having at least one Pokemon with this attack is pretty huge for Wolfe. But now we see a switch out into Politoed. Yeah, it's just a little bit of time till Wolfe gets his real positioning to finish the thing up.
Yeah, so it may have happened one turn too late. Oh, sorry, not one turn too late, one turn after you predicted it, Nino, but this is the switch that you imagined seeing the Politoed come back in. He has knocked off the leftovers, but now he gets rid of its Leech Seed, and because it's a flying type, Celesteela does not get the additional health back from the grassy terrain, so Wolfe has cut off every single option Jonas has for healing without setting up Leech Seed again. So now Tapu Bulu is in, which doesn't want to take a Heavy Slam. He can either retreat that into Salamence or retreat Politoed into Salamence to get the Intimidate once again and set himself up to try and get a Flamethrower onto the...
But the Encore.
But there's the Encore.
There's the Encore. There's always the Encore. And also one thing Wolfe likes to do is when he gets a chance to win 4-0, he goes always to the 4-0 for the, you know, he had the chance for it, he can do it, and he could easily win if you could just sacrifice one Pokemon, but he wants 4-0, he just wants a clear sign for his opponent, for the stream especially, and yeah, he's doing it, and he's doing it pretty well.
Well, this is the general theme of this stream, is that there is a lot of bulk going around in this early VGC 17 meta, and having a lot of potential switches to make to keep your Pokemon healthy is a really good thing, so having the 4-0 there could be really an option for him. We see the Rain Boosted School coming out from Politoed, a Leech Seed coming out from Tapu Bulu, and again the Heavy Slam due to the Encore going to hit into the Politoed, which resists it. Politoed sticking around once more and getting a little bit of health back due to the grassy terrain.
Yeah, I wouldn't be curious if Jonas uses, because he knows most likely over, but I wouldn't be curious if he's using the time to just keep a game plan for the second match, because this is the thing a lot of people are doing, just stalling out a little bit time, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, just to have a little bit better plan for the next game, because Wolfe had still to be concentrated for the game.
Yep.
And you have just more time, like especially way more time, to keep in mind, okay, well, how am I leading, how am I doing, what's my game plan for game 2?
Well, speaking of game 2, we did see the handshake there between Jonas and Wolfe. The burn kind of seals the deal here for Celesteela. It's going to get the Heavy Slam onto the Tapu Bulu, but it's going to knock out the substitute here, so Tapu Bulu does stick around. A little bit of health back for Politoed. How much damage will this burn do? Will it be enough to pick up the knockout here?
I hope so, actually, but if I would be good at math, I would be say yes, and yeah,
there
finally.
we go. So we do see the knockout coming onto the Celesteela here, so unfortunately Jonas not able to defeat Wolfe in this first round match, but both players are now able to reset their minds, go back into this game 2 and think about what they want to do to overcome the odds and make it through to day 2.
Yeah, really, man. And so, yeah, Wolfe, when you beat someone in the first game 4-0, you have like, it's like a great feeling, and you're so self-confident. You're less stressed,
yeah.
Even if there's so much, even if you're 6-2, it's the last game, could be for Jonas, so he's really now under big pressure, and I'm curious how he's going to act with this. You're playing against the World Championship Master of 2016, and you're playing in probably the last round, so how are you react?
I mean, I'd be nervous going into this tournament anyway. If I managed to get into a situation where I was playing for my tournament life against a world champion, I think I'd be pretty nervous. But if we do need to, again, take a moment to calm yourself, think about your game plan, and get ready for team preview, which you can see on your screen right now. So we have Alolan Marowak, Gastrodon, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Goodra, and Porygon 2 for Jonas. And for Wolfe, we have Politoed, Salamence, Porygon 2, Magnezone, Tapu Bulu, and Muck. And Wolfe has burnt through team preview, already locked in his team.
Yeah, very quick move by Wolfe actually. But Jonas, when you hear it in the sound, he's always like picking out. He's not sure what he's going to pick, but I don't know if he's going to think Wolfe is going to do more double switch action, because in the first 2 times he did it, it was like quite good for him. But maybe Jonas find a way to punish this too much switch in, because when you are switching both Pokemon, you get in a like decent position, but still you're burning 1 turn. You don't do any damage. It's just positioning.
And it's a key factor for a lot of VGC, but if someone can capitalize on it, it could swing the game in your favor. And guys, speaking of games, we are just about to launch into Game 2 here in Round 9 of Swiss at the European International Championships in London. And we're going to see Jonas leading with Goodra and Celesteela, and for Wolfe Glick, we're going to see Salamence and Muck once again.
Yeah, we still don't know the ability of Muck, I guess, so it would be still interesting to see if it's the power of Alchemy, what could be kind of cool with Salamence Intimidate. But anyway, having the Goodra is... I don't think he's able to get the Z Draco Meteor by Salamence, especially if he would have something like Assault Vest or stuff like this. I would say okay, it will survive, but without the Assault Vest, it's okay. It's probably not max HP, I think. But anyway, man, this is a Z move, a Z Draco Meteor by Salamence. This could be too much.
You just got to see it coming, right? But obviously we do have the option for a switch into some a Fairy type on Jonas' side of the field. We actually are going to see the Fairy type switching in here. It's going to be Tapu Koko, which didn't make an appearance last time round, but maybe possibly wanting to take a Flamethrower or something from Salamence. We're actually going to see the Protect coming out from Goodra here. Are we going to see a Z move from Wolfe? We're actually going to see the Substitute. So instead of going for a straight up attack, he's going to use a little bit, provide a little bit more bulk to himself. And we're actually going to, is that the knockoff there?
It is a knockoff, yeah.
Yep. So,
but no item.
Ooh, so it seems like Tapu Koko is carrying an item that cannot be knocked off. And in this metagame, there are items that cannot be knocked off, and they're called Z crystals.
Indeed, man.
Yeah,
Indeed.
so it looks like Tapu Koko is holding a Z crystal, which means it might be able to get some big damage off here. Obviously, we've seen people using the electric Z move, but also there is the Guardian of Alola Z move as well, which takes Pokemon down to 25% health. Very, very big damage attack. We're going to see a Protect coming out from Muck here. Celesteela is going to hit the field now as well, and we actually are going to see the Z move coming out. It's going to be the Z move going on to Tapu Koko. It's going to be the electric type Z move instead. So we're going to see a massive amount of electric type damage coming out here. If he's gone into, it's Gigavolt Havoc is the name in English, and if it's going to go into Salamence, it's going to take out the sub. If it's going to go into the Muck, it's going to go through the Protect. That's what Z moves do, but it's not going to do too much damage. And Muck loves that. Look at that, not too much damage at all.
Yeah, Muck is also the strength of Muck is his really high HP basement, attack, and special defense. So everything he needs right now is in Muck's favor. So, and he only got one weakness, and it's ground. And when I see a Jonas team, he don't have so much options to ground moves, because Gastrodon used to be a ground Pokemon, but no Earth Power this round.
Yeah, I mean it is still a ground Pokemon, but it has lost its most powerful attack in Earth Power.
Yeah.
That is entirely true. And now Wolfe has revealed the Flamethrower on Salamence as well, kind of showing Jonas that Celesteela might not be so safe to be switching into any slots. But yeah, Wolfe once again not really too worried about what's happening on Jonas' side of the field. We have the sub up for the Salamence. We see a Protect coming out from Jonas once again, and what we're going to see coming out from Tapu Koko here.
It's a Discharge.
Yep, so Discharge going to come out onto both the opposing Pokemon. Mark is going to take some fair amount of damage from that, and we're actually going to see the Substitute breaking on Salamence's side of the field. But what is Salamence going to go for? We see again, once again, the Flamethrower onto the Tapu Koko. It's going to be able to pick up the knockout here. So Tapu Koko going down without really doing too much apart from breaking a Substitute on Salamence, and the attack of Mark is going to go into the Protect.
Yeah, Wolfe's playing Sim. It's still just one this sub plays, because I know from Wolfe he likes attack Substitute, and it's always when you, in the turn when you can do the most damage, you just pick up the sub.
Yep.
Just sub up and you bring your opponent out of the concept. This is what Wolfe did against Jonas, because Jonas is completely out of concept now. Having a Salamence with a Draco Meteor Z move in the back, on the field, under the sub, it's so much threat. So you have to deal with a Muk who can do a very decent amount of good damage, and a fast Salamence with a Dragon move Z. It's so dangerous, so difficult for Jonas.
That is true, and Jonas has revealed that he brought the Gastrodon with him this time, so we do know his full team. And Gastrodon isn't particularly enjoying this position either. It's going to be using Protect here, so it doesn't want to take any additional damage. As we mentioned, doesn't have too much of a way to hit Salamence or Muk. Another Substitute coming out from Salamence here. Once again, just trying to get a bit of bulk to it, and we see the Heavy Slam coming out from Celesteela onto that Muk, which survives and gets a Citrus Berry. So again, Muk showing its incredible bulk.
It's not a Citrus Berry. It's like the I don't know. It's like the
Enigma Berry.
Not Enigma. It's like the berry who gives you 50% when you're under 25%. I'm sorry, guys.
Yep.
I just read the German name, and when you play the game in the lovely language of Germany, it's always kind of difficult. But anyway, it's a berry. When you get under 25% of damage, you will get the heal by 50%.
I mean, again, what a really good partnership to have with Muk as well. So Muk itself showing its incredible bulk to survive those attacks, and getting additional healing is always incredibly powerful.
It is. It's we see now first of all setting up Substitute, now seeing this the Protect by Salamence, because knowing you are the biggest threat on the field and just protecting under the sub is also a strategy I like, Wolfe like, and every top player kinda like, because it's always like normally both players get into it, but now we see the knockoff onto Gastrodon and seeing the Expert Belt.
Yep,
That's also interesting.
Yeah, so the Expert Belt obviously boosts the power of super effective attacks that go into the opposing Pokemon, and without the Expert Belt, maybe Gastrodon may not be able to pick up some key knockouts, and he did launch an Ice Beam into that Salamence, hoping to break the Substitute on Wolfe's side, but unable to do so.
Yeah, and thinking about the Expert Belt, I think you need you need it for the Ice Beam on Garchomp, I think, because this metagame is pretty bulky, because and it's not unusual to run a little bit more HP and S of Garchomp, still fast of course, but a little bit of bulk just to keep up the Ice Beams. And this is maybe the reason why you've got Expert Belt, to get 1 KO on every Garchomp. But now we see a switch out into Gudra, but getting the Flamethrower from Mance into Gudra, good switch in by Jonas actually.
Yep.
Anyway, as long as Salamence is under the sub, it's a big, great threat. But now we see the knockoff into Gudra, but still Z Crystal you can't knock off, so your item stays.
And there goes the Scald, picking up the burn, so that's a roll that goes into Jonas's favour. But as you mentioned, Nina, this Substitute is a real big problem for Jonas, and switching in like that onto the Flamethrower is really good. It's a really nice defensive switch there, but having to eat a knockoff at the same time is just not good.
It is not. It is absolutely not good. And now I see kind of the Salamence and the Muk combination in the lead. It's very interesting and it's cool. I like it actually, because you have the sub, you have to intimidate, first of all intimidate, and the pressure of is he subbing or is he Draco Meteor Z, because if you don't have enough Fairy type Pokemon, this could be a problem for you. So now I miss Tapu Fini.
Oh. Oh, where is Tapu Fini? Guys, if you know where Tapu Fini is, please let us know using the hashtag #PlayPokemon. But we do have Politoed hitting the field now, and we're going to see a Z move coming out from Wolfe Glick. It's going to be the Draconian Z, Devastating Drake, and we've seen how much damage this move can do.
Yeah, and I see just in the face from Jonas, he wasn't expecting that, and now he's probably, I don't care if he's going to Gudra, if it's going to be Gastrodon, it's sure a knockout.
Yep, and there goes Gastrodon. The Gastrodon is going to go down here. A load of damage coming out from the Devastating Drake there. So Gudra is still free to act this turn, but the Draco Meteor is going to come out here. It's going to go into the substitute, and that isn't particularly a great turn for Jonas because he gets a special defense drop, gets special attack drop, and takes out the substitute, sure, but now Wolfe can just come back with a big attack.
Yeah, and now you're still in the range for getting anchored into the Draco Meteor. What is decent, but I don't think Salamence will stay in. Even you have still a chance for one big Draco Meteor because you don't have to drop. Also a thing I like about the Z move mechanic. But still, we have in a position from Wolfe 4-2, and I think he will keep the 4.
Yeah, I think he might be able to keep the 4. He's a player known for being able to shuffle around his Pokemon in a good way to take resisted hits, and with, again, Celesteela being one of the last Pokemon on the field, we've seen a lot of his Pokemon do resist the heavy slam, and he has the ability to just try and grind this game out in a kind of way that most Celesteela like to do, actually.
Yeah. But Wolfe, you don't need the Celesteela when you can store with everything else. So, seeing the Protect by Salamence into it, predicting the Draco Meteor right. Well done, Wolfie. But seeing now the Paris song from Politoed.
Yep, and that does put a bit of a timer on how this game is going to go for Jonas. He only has 3 turns to be able to make this happen. So he gets the Leech Seed up onto Politoed, but it's too little too late.
It's way too late because even if Celesteela is able to get the Leech Seed on every Pokemon of Wolfe, he's still just able to get the switch out, gets intimidated off. Celesteela is going to turn by turn even weaker. Don't care, don't mind about the Leech Seed. And having a Gudra next to it with -2 special attack isn't the best.
Yep, it felt like an uphill battle for Jonas
anyway.
anyway.
And now we see the forfeit.
Yeah, are we going to see the forfeit here? Yeah, the headphones are off. The handshake is going to happen. We do see the forfeit for Jonas, so really well done to Wolfe Glick there. He put in a really strong performance, and the Paris song really sealed the deal there. An uphill battle for Jonas. He played really well, and that's the thing. Obviously, it is a very tough schedule. We've had a lot of games to play today, and to make sure that you stay calm and stay focused. But when playing against a player of Wolfe's caliber, it is always hard.
It is, yeah. Also, like we mentioned in the first set, when you're playing against the world champion still, you have kind of in the beginning a decent position, but now Wolfe playing so good, also having this kind of own set, because you know, okay, good, we saw some Paris song, some Encore, but it's still kind of rare because we don't see any much Politoed, because the Politoed used to be just a weather Pokemon. Sometimes a Paris trap song, trap teams, but in this team it's you just need for fun or just to weaken fire type Pokemon.
Just for fun.
Yeah, you don't have a rain upsetter, a rain abuser, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
you just need the Politoed. You don't actually need the rain.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the additional effect of the rain is quite nice for boosting your school damage. It means that you can invest less. In its special attack because it gets boosted by the rain. It also means it wipes out other weather conditions for other Pokemon. But Politoed is in a nice speed tier as well. A lot of the new Pokemon introduced in the Alola region are very slow, and so being able to get off an Encore on some Pokemon that wouldn't usually expect to see an Encore is really important. We've seen it a lot today. And then the Perish song option at the very end just kind of just wipe the floor out, pull the rug out from underneath Jonas.
By all the Celesteela player out there, we're always trying to get to the last Pokemon sweep, you know, with the Leech Seed. It's also a very good, interesting situation how you can always get, when you had a Celesteela in front of you, just Perish Song and 3 turns stalling against a Celesteela with a Politoed is very easy.